Five Nights at Freddy's is one of the most popular indie horror game franchises ever. But I want to ask you a question. What's the most disturbing moment ever? What do you think was really the scariest time ever while playing? And I'm not talking just surface scary. I'm talking like the root of it is scary. It's just so disturbing and it really gets to you as a player. Well, I'll be covering that in today's video. So as always, buckle up. Let's get into it. Just remember super briefly, guys, this is all personal opinion. I am super scared of everything. I get jump scared super easily. It's just something this franchise has always scared me. So you may not be very scared. You may think that this is the dumbest thing, or you may have your own opinion. So always the comment section down below is where I want you to leave that. But I hope you enjoy. Now, of course, before we get into my personal scariest moment, I just want to do one real quick. I actually, while creating this video, asked a couple friends what they thought theirs was. And a lot of people actually didn't think as deep as I thought. When I thought of my most disturbing moment, I really thought like, what's the moment that shaped my thought or vision of this game? And I instantly had one come to mind. But when I was talking to other people, they actually all said the same thing. Five Nights at Freddy's 4. While Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is a good option and a good choice, I'm talking about the scariest moment. I'm not talking about a whole game. Because in that sense, you could say that 4 is the scariest game. But I'm trying to find the greatest and scariest moment instead. Now, some people tell me that the most disturbing moment could be Five Nights at Freddy's 4 when the crying child's head was chomped, but I agree. I do think that that's a very disturbing moment and like a scary moment, but I don't think it really beats the moment that I have picked. I really don't think it shares that same disturbing nature and the creepy nature, and the best thing about my game, it's in VR. Now, I know I kind of just spoiled what game I was picking there. Obviously, I'm picking Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. If you don't know, that's the VR title. It's the game where you get to experience all that FNAF fun and horror, but instead you're now doing it inside of a headset. And the thing with Help Wanted is it was kind of meant to carry us into what the next saga of Five Nights at Freddy's would be. So of course, as the game starts, it starts off super normal, super typical. What kind of goes on is that we're kind of just considered a beta tester for the game, and we're kind of meant to just find glitches and bugs throughout the game. However, as FNAF fans, we looked deeper and we found 16 cassette tapes. These cassette tapes actually showed us something very dark and sinister within. We found that there was a previous beta tester and one before that. Now, as we collect more tapes, we begin to find out something. Or should I say the beta tester tells us. I'll let her say it right here.
I saw it for the first time today. There was a character I couldn't make out who it was, standing at the end of the hall. I thought it was just bugged out, so I made a note of it and kept playing. But then it was looking in the window, and not like Chica or Bonnie would. It was like it was actually looking in the window, seeing what I was doing. Today was my last day of beta testing, and the anomaly that I've been seeing is nowhere to be found. But after inspecting some of the files, it seems that it's attached itself to these logs. My logs.
Yeah, so we actually learned that he actually bound himself to the actual tapes themselves. So as we've been building the tapes, we've actually been putting him back together. So what happens when we put him back together? Awesome stuff. He becomes very close to us. He actually, when you're playing the game, you'll notice he can stand literally right behind you. And as he stands right behind you, you get this creepy feeling from him. He just makes weird noises and like a very distorted voice. He's just not a nice guy to be around. That's the easiest way to put it. Now you're probably pulling your hair out. What is the moment I'm talking about? And the moment I'm talking about comes at the end. It's actually called Pizza Party. Now, when you're completing the game and you reach the end, meaning you've completed every single level, you'll notice that one unlock will happen when you enter the other dimension, or whatever the other thing is. You just flip a switch and it takes you to some weird reality. It's kind of like a glitched version of the game itself. When you're in that glitched reality and you play Pizza Party, you find yourself in a maze. Within this maze, you find that there's different parts of other FNAF games, whether it's FNAF 1, FNAF 3, I think even FNAF 2, and I know FNAF 4 are in it. And while you're in there, you notice that there's messages left to you by someone. The messages can ask you just pretty simple stuff like, where are you, or come find me. But then it can also ask you weirdly personal stuff, left or right, or even chocolate or vanilla. It asks you some pretty odd questions that you wouldn't expect really from a murderous AI. But then you start to unravel why he's asking you those questions. Because as you begin to go deeper into the maze, you reach a back security room. While you're in that back security room, you actually find that you're in with your best buddies. You see Chica, Bonnie, you even see some pizza there waiting for you. And then you find out that there's a cake there for you. There's even some candles on it, one indicating an age. And you find out, and it really hits you. you are one of the murder victims. You find that you're actually one of the kids. Whether you guys know it or not, you actually experience what it's like to be one of the children murdered by Afton. You're led into the back. Of course, we know from Chica's case or other things. I'll use Chica for example. Chica is told by Afton that her dog died and that he knows where it is and he can take her to the back and everything will be okay. We presumably know that she's stuffed literally into Chica's suit. Murdered beforehand, murdered after, who knows? Died slowly or died painlessly. We know that it's quite graphic itself. But in our case, we are in the back. We get to celebrate our own little birthday. We see Glitchtrap open a curtain. And as he pulls that curtain open, he calls to us, beckons to us, asking us to come in as if he has another surprise. But at that point, when you do enter, you find that there is no surprise. In fact, the only surprise is the credits rolling. The credits rolling as you stand there, but you find that you're actually Freddy. You hear the announcer call, saying that they should put their hands together, that the fans there, which there are no fans, but they should all clap their hands for Freddy on stage. You find that you're holding a microphone. You find that you're on stage. You are Freddy. You're a victim. You're one of the children stuffed into the suits. For all the world knows, you're gone. You're dead. Who knows where you are? Maybe you ran away. But Glitchtrap knows. Whether we know it or not, we get to experience what it's like to be one of those children. We see what it's like to be kidnapped. Now, we don't even know what it would really be like, but I think it's just disturbing in nature, and it really causes me goosebumps. It's saddening to me because that's one of the moments where we get to truly understand that the horrors of what Afton did. Afton didn't just kill kids and we have these creepy animatronics that come to our door, come in front of us, knock, you turn a light, a door. Who cares about that? But the deeper meaning is really showed here. We see what it would really be like to be one of the spirits trapped in a suit, watching your killer go on around you, living while you're trapped in this suit, and everlasting in agony. Now, I went pretty deep there, but I think you guys understand my point. The ending really shows us what it would have been like to be one of those kids that just gets trapped and forgotten, left to rot, left to die, and just waiting for their soul to be free. Now, of course, this is all personal opinion. I hope I did a good job with a little bit of storytelling there, but I really think it's important to understand, and I think people kind of overlook that Scott really gave us, Scott and Steel Wool, of course, gave us a real look into what would have happened if you were one of those kids lured to the back, taken advantage of by Springtrap, so you would be shoved into a suit to fulfill whatever murderous pleasure he had. And as always, I thank you so much for your guys' support. As always, comments is where I want you guys to talk to me. Please go down below. Share whether you think I'm off my rocker or you think that there's another moment I forgot. Stuff like that. If you guys don't mind sharing it, it would be greatly appreciated. Please leave a like and subscribe these videos, as of course we're trying to hit 100 subscribers. So we're actually really close. I want to thank you guys for my support on the last video. You guys are all amazing. But besides that, peace, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cue the outro.